Hello, Girl Gang. This is Amber Vargas, founder and owner of Girl Pursuit. And today is the season finale of season two. And I am going to talk about 39. 39 is what my birthday is going to be. I am going to be 39 years old in a couple of days. And I want to talk about and dive deep into what the last decade has taught me. What the last year in my 30s has brought me down to of who I am as a woman, as a mother, as a partner, as a daughter, as a sister, as a friend. Thank you so much for joining me and tuning in. I am not afraid to tell my age. I am not afraid to show my grays. I have a lot of them on my head now, and it looks quite interesting. I have a bit of wrinkles on my face. I see it when I smile, and when I'm done smiling, that wrinkle still, I see a little bit of curvature still staying there in my smile on my skin, and it's the folding of a wrinkle, right? The beginning of it. And the grays in my hair, and it's almost looking, it's very peppery, but there's sprinkles of salt, and that is something I'm trying to embrace and look at myself and saying, wow, we're here. We're here in that stage of life. Almost scary, but also so awesome and so grateful that I can get to this point. Many people are unfortunate that are not able to get to this point in life. And I am just wanting to exude and show and live in gratitude. I just had something happen between my husband and I before he just took our 4-year-old out so I could sit in her closet and record this podcast, because sometimes I can batch record, sometimes I can't. And sometimes we have to make it work strategically, and I'm thankful for him. And just got into a bit of rift of like not understanding each other, and I just wanted my flowers, and he didn't give it to me, and I wanted him to give me my flowers. And what do I mean by that? By just basically showing my appreciation for all the things that I do, the little nuances, the little things that I do that go unseen. And he left in a bit of an attitude, and I was upset, and he called me and apologized and recognized that he was jealous and just wanted to do the things on his own, but recognized and acknowledged that it wasn't me that he's actually fighting. We're not in competition, we're in a partnership, and giving me my flowers by just showing appreciation to me is a form of love for me, to show that I am appreciated, and an affirmation. Like the love languages, right? So that's something to me. I had a really good 30 to 45-second cry in the bathroom after he called me, and I really appreciated the growth that we have been through. For him to recognize this now, and I'm really appreciative, and I know he'll listen to my episode. So I want to shout out to my husband. I love you and I appreciate you. And thank you so much for being aware and giving me my flowers. I love you. Okay. So, what are we doing here? So, like in my 30s, even a decade ago, I knew what I wanted, right? If there's listeners out there that can resonate with me about, having a plan, having what what you want to get done in life and accomplish. And yeah, the cookie cutter dream, the American dream of, right, going to school, getting married, having children, and living a great life and having a beautiful home and blah, blah, blah. All these things, having a dog, getting a dog. I kind of did that. I literally did that, and my brain was like, this is what I'm going to do. And I've said this before in a prior episode of like, the only thing that I ever could define myself in one word, and that word was determination. If I set my mind to something, I was just determined to get it, however I got it. Not in the greatest ways of showing achievement or gaining that achievement, but I got it. Um, yeah, I, however messy it's been in the last decade, it's been very messy. Very messy in my head, very messy in the way I have treated people, very messy in how I've dealt with relationships or just dealing with business and dealing with children, dealing with just life. It's been messy, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. I only know now what I know now with what I've been through, because of what I've been through and how I've been through it. I look at it as, wow, if this didn't happen, I wouldn't be here today. The way I am, the way I show up for myself, the way I am as a woman, the way I define myself, my femininity, my own being, my self-worth, my fire, y'all. Embrace the fire inside every girl, right? I'm embracing the fire inside me. That's our motto, by the way. If you're tuning in for the first time, Girl Pursuit is about embracing the fire within you, within every girl. Girl is an acronym for gangster in real life, gutsy in real life, grounded in real life, grit in real life, goddess in real life. And you can go on and on and on and on about it, right? And taking something and having that play on words, but having such a deep meaning, and everybody's meaning is different. Everybody has their story, everybody has their version. And it's amazing and it's beautiful in that way. Do you agree? Because I feel it. And I know that I can resonate and connect with all the girls that are out there. So shout out to all the girls. I see you. I feel you. I am you. Now, career goals, right? So if I go back and I say, all right, finished my master's degree. I have an undergrad in accounting, master's by 27, and it was a concentration in forensic accounting. And I remember saying to my husband, like, that's what I want to be. That's my long-term goal, career goal. I'm going to be a badass woman. I'm going to be a certified fraud examiner, right? One of those examiners that, like, if y'all, just to put something into perspective for you to understand what a certified fraud examiner is those people that go in and, like, that brought down Enron way back when. And now I'm sure my majority of my listeners in the target market would understand and know what I'm talking about. And that's what I wanted to be, and that's what the goal was. But guess what, guys? The goal was also, by the time I'm 30, I want to be pregnant. By the time I'm 30, I want to be pregnant. And there was always the number of two children, whether it be 2 boys, 2 girls, boy, girl, whatever it is. We collectively, but singularly as well, always just wanted 2 kids. Done. And I had it in my mind, 30, get pregnant, have another baby as well in my 30s. Because of the unfortunate, your biological clock is ticking and making sure everything is done properly in my brain, right? Or whatever's on paper, or what you see is recommended for you to do as far as obtaining that goal, which was to obviously become parents and have children. But little did I know that. So once I got pregnant, I did get pregnant at 30, guys. Had my son at 31. And then I knew after that, like, COVID hit, I pulled the plug, and then it hit me. Reality hit me where I was like, hold on. I was a staff accountant at that time, senior staff accountant. And I was like, wait, but what about, like, my career? The goal was to be financially stable so I could stay at home and take care of our kids, like raise our children, which I have been. And we did. We met that goal. But then that put my career goal on a pause. Back burner, right? Like, wait, what about my certification? What about my worth, my self-worth in that regard? That was something that I really was like, hold on. So when am I actually going to get back into the workforce and obtain that? When is this actually going to happen? And when I did the math, I was thinking, oh shit, this is going to take about 9 to 10 years. Think about it. Raising the first kid, having a couple of years in between, having another kid, raising that one too. And now we're here. Now we're here, y'all. 9 years later. We're here. And now I'm like, how do what? 10 years ago, a decade ago, that was bonkers to my brain. Like, that can't happen. That's not real. Like, that's not obtainable, um, or sustainable for my brain or anything else. But it happened. And it's a pause. I have learned to know that it is a pause, a power pause. Like I have told y'all before in a prior episode of taking a power pause, reading the book by Nia Rush. This is my power pause. And if this didn't happen, I wouldn't be talking to y'all right now. If my power pause didn't happen, I wouldn't create a business. I wouldn't get onto my entrepreneurial journey and start a business, a product-based business, and podcasting. I wouldn't have done that. Everything is in alignment. Should have said this from the beginning of the episode. This year's growth, this year's mindset, this year's goal, and what I am going to achieve, I want to live in alignment of who I am, what I am doing, who I'm going to be, how I represent myself. Everything in alignment. Let it be relationships, let it be financial, let it be career goal, let it be identity. The checklist, right? It's something that I am pursuing. Girl pursuit. Again, play on words. Pursuing that alignment goal. And those were the expectations career-wise that I didn't expect. And the motherhood, postpartum trauma, right? The episodes of depression, anxiety, and insane, intrusive thoughts. It was that was something that was very, very, very hard to overcome, but I overcame it. I accomplished it. Honestly, again, if somebody asked me, like, how did you get through it? I don't fucking know how. Honestly, there's that grit in me. Just keep going. I had no other choice but to keep going. I was not to give up. I couldn't give up. I couldn't give up on myself. I couldn't give up on my child, right? I have learned that throughout this motherhood journey. And it has been such a wild ride. And again, I come back down to being grateful. Come back to being grateful. And wow, the wisdom that I have gained from all these life experiences, and even the yucky feelings that I get here and there, and they still happen. I had yucky feelings yesterday. And the healing and the therapy, the awareness, the personal growth that I have accomplished in this last decade wouldn't have happened if this last decade didn't happen the way it happened. Do you understand? Breaking the cycles, like the work that I've done differently than my parents. I wouldn't have done that if I didn't have these last 9 years to do. 10 to be exact, right? Because you're counting the year 30, the year that I was pregnant. Yeah. It's so insane when you think about it. Of like, how did I even get here? Wow, I'm getting older. Whoa, there's wrinkles. Whoa, there's gray hairs. Where's salt and pepper hair going on? Whoa, there's so many changes, bodily changes. My God, I'm gaining weight and it's not coming off the way it used to come off. And my body was never like that to begin with. Like, it was never something that's going to be like, whoop, we're going to snatch back up. And that term that's always so trendy, snatched. Nope, not really. Not happening. My body is my body. I am thankful for what my body has done, and breastfed my children and nurtured them, given them life. We as women need to be kinder to our bodies. That's one point that I would love to get across. And I know every episode that I publish, I would hope and like to give some kind of tip, some kind of self-knowledge, self-awareness, something so someone can feel appreciated, to feel seen. Girls, appreciate your body. Appreciate for what it's done. It's never going to look the same because it was never meant to look the same the way it was. Very small amounts, percentage of women snatch back, quote unquote, to what they were and look better than what they were. However it is, great, good for them. Our bodies are temples. We need to be grateful for what they have done and what they are serving to do now. We need to be grateful for our bodies. Thank our bodies. And another side tip, inflammation will go down. Keep talking positively to your body, about your body, internally and externally, and inflammation will go down. I heard this, I forget where, but I am practicing it, and I'm trying to be better at it, because I'm not trying to change my body or make it better so I can be liked or validated externally. I am being appreciative of what my body has done thus far and will keep me going. And I have a mantra, I keep saying it, and I said it again on a previous episode. I will heal. My body will heal. I will heal. So the career path, right? We talked about that. Of how that didn't go as planned and it shifted. But I'm getting back into it. To be honest, I have my product-based business. I have this podcast. All is great. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm trying to get back into the game as well. I'm trying to get back into the accounting world and see, like, all right, where can I do what I used to do and loved and still obtain that certification that I want to get and go on from there. And it's like, it's so enticing to me. It's so how you say, I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see it. Like I could see it in front of me, right? Like when you could see something like that goal in front of you, I can see it. And I'm like excited to get there, that it's going to be run on my terms, the way I want it. And I'm excited for that. But dreams do evolve and change, and that's amazing how life works. And it only happens through life, right? We have to go through it to get over it, to get past it. Again, something else I've also always talked about. Can't get over it if you don't go through it. And I have done it. But I have also not done a lot of things. I have things that I would love to accomplish, that I need to accomplish, that I have goals, and I will get them done. All in due time. The plan is there. The mindset is there. The goal is there. It will get done. Consistency is key. We'll get there. Now, just this messy, unglamorous work of becoming ourselves was something that I hated doing. It's the worst. It's the worst feeling ever, to feel so low in life, to feel so unworthy. But to know that you have that grit in you to get back up and keep on going, even if the next day or the next attempt is so small. It's still an attempt. It's still something, right? That's something that I hope that you, Girl Gang, will understand and also apply into your daily life, of it being something like you didn't obtain something, you didn't achieve something. Let it be as minute as folding the laundry. The next day, get it done. Stay consistent on top of that goal. Or for a week, they're not done. Life's not going to be over. You deal with yourself, help yourself out, feel better, get better, but know that there will be that goal will be met. Positive mindset. Having the guts to admit that you're not well, that you're not able to do something, that you need help. Goddamn, you need a village, which I wished I did so much more when my kids were little. And especially when my son was a toddler and my daughter was born, and that was like another huge fog. And I talk about that a lot, of the brain fog. Like it felt like such a foggy time. I wish I reached out more and or demanded more of the village, right, quote unquote community, to help out more, because it does get so overwhelming, overbearing, overstimulating, everything. My motherhood, right? It wasn't what I thought it'd be, right? Like the black hole, the identity shift, the triggers. I didn't think any of that was going to happen, or not even to that extent, but it did. And I've only gotten past it and gotten out of it, gotten through it stronger. And healing doesn't have a timeline, guys. It doesn't. You can heal while you're parenting. You can heal while you're building, while you're just basically living. At least you're trying. You're having the guts to try. Guts in your life to try. And the alignment isn't perfect, right? Being on my path, it's not society's path. It's not what my friend did or my sister did or my cousin did. Being on my alignment and my truth. That isn't perfection, but it is mine. Boundaries. Boundaries is something that I have learned to protect my peace, right? Like, I have learned there have been many instances in life where boundaries were tested, and I have put up boundaries to protect my peace. And what do I mean by that? Protecting my peace was my mindset, protecting my mindset, because I have found myself in many, many, many instances of replaying something or thinking about something over and over again in different versions of, okay, if she said this or he did that, but what if this happened and then that didn't go through, and oh, how disrespectful it is. And then keeping that person or persons around you, let it be virtually, in person, however it is, that was toxic to me. I put up a boundary. I learned that in my 30s. In my 20s, shit, I just had to put up with it because I didn't know any better. And what does that even mean? Like, I didn't know any better because maybe life wasn't valued the way it is valued in my 30s, or it has been valued in my 30s the way it was in my 20s. I value it so much more now. And it is so true, or cliche that people say, like, as you get older, wisdom, you'll gain wisdom, and you really do, guys. If y'all ain't here yet, you just wait. You'll get there. Hopefully you do. Mind always matter doesn't always work. Sometimes you need help, you need therapy, you need support. And I've done that. Again, wouldn't have done that if life didn't pan out the way it panned out for me. I know I've talked about intuition. That was something that, like, in my 20s, I would let a lot of things slide and not really tune in to my intuition. I am on the path, I am on the journey of literally listening to my gut, even so much more now than before. Again, with age, I feel like a lot of people and a lot of friends of mine, even a few friends that are a little older than me, in their 40s and 50s, have said, like, I ain't got time for that bullshit. Like, I'm just gonna listen to my gut, like, and I don't care. I don't give a fuck what other people say or do or think about me. So, knowing that wisdom comes with age, it is very true. But shit, I was wise in my 20s too. For being at 20-something-year-old, I was still wise for my age. I was told that many times. But even now, it's so much more, wow. I sit with wisdom and gratitude. I believe that aligns me to my greater path in life. I'm excited for what's next. I'm excited for the obstacles, even though I don't want to see a challenge. But how are we going to grow if we don't see a challenge, right? The resilience it took to survive and thrive through my 30s took fucking grit. The courage to be honest about what didn't work and what works, and to keep going with what's working. That takes guts. Owning my story and all of it without an apology, that's gangsta. And I know that's my true story. Again, raw and real is what Girl Pursuit is about. Because if it's not, I don't want it. I don't need it. I don't invite it. I don't entertain it. Not something that's going to be in line with me. Alignment, right? So, now, thanking you guys. Again, I didn't ever think, even a year ago, didn't ever think that I would be sitting in my daughter's closet recording my last episode of season 2, talking about the last year of my 30s. Wow. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for giving me your time to hear my story and that possible connection and resonation. I don't know what I carry onto the next chapter, but I know I carry. I'll take that back. I know what I carry into my next chapter, and I carry it with wisdom, and I carry gratitude, and I carry the grit, the guts, the gangster, the grounded, the goddess. I carry all that with me through into my next year and my last year of my 30s. And I cannot wait. And what I leave behind is I shed all the things that do not serve me. Literally and figuratively shed it. That does not serve me, does not work for me in my life, for my family unit, for my loved ones, for the people around me. I appreciate you all again. Thank you so much. And once again, like always, I bid y'all farewell until season 3. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day, night, girl gang. See y'all later. This is Amber Vargas. Goodbye.